Pennine PeatLIFE project virtual tour. Birkdale in the North Pennines is where we visited during the site visit in 2018 whilst a contractor was airlifting stone into place. Of the quadrat surveyed, 72% of them are either recovering or in favourable condition. And from the UAV images, Birkdale has the largest coverage of brash in the North Pennines, with a reduction of 84% of bare peat. In terms of hydrology, 85% of the dams are in good condition, which means they are holding water and retaining sediment, which is great. This site has proved a very good case for changing perceptions. When we first proposed this site to the keeper, he was not keen. However, after the restoration, he now wants further work completed, and keepers from surrounding estates have seen the good work and want us to restore their bare peat areas too. Dufton in the North Pennines is a site of two halves. The northern area is the highest in the project at 702 metres above sea level. This is made up of deep gullies and interspersed bare peat. The southern area is marked on an OS map as a tarn, however it rarely holds water long term. Instead it is a large flat area of bare peat for most of the year. Stone dams and coir rolls were completed in winter 1819 and the brash was completed the following winter. Monitoring is yet to be completed on this site, however the dams already show evidence of collecting sediment whilst out on site visits.
So one of the main reasons why we spread brash, heather brash, over the bare peat is to protect it from the elements and also to stop frost heave. So peat's really full of water. What happens is when it freezes, the entire bog surface raises up, and then when it thaws, it creates these little peaks on the surface, as you can see. And what happens is when we get sunny weather, these peaks dry out and basically turn to dust. So you can see it just crumbles. It's just really fragile. It's not very good for anything. Whereas if you compare that to an area like this where we've airlifted heather brash in and spread it over the bare peat, you come down and pull this heather brash away, you can see the peat is still nice and damp and it holds together really well, and actually it's still got quite a lot of water in it, and that's what the heather brash does. It protects the surface of the bare peat, and that allows the plants and the sphagnum and other moorland species to grow.
An aerial image from the drone shows the southern sites before restoration and now in 2020 with stone, coir and heather brash. We hope to see dramatic changes in the coming years from this site. Hartley Common was the first site in the Pennine PeatLIFE project to be restored. Now after 3 years it shows promising signs of recovery, with 60% of quadrats either recovering or in favourable condition. 81% of the reprofiled hag edges are covered with more than 75% vegetation. We've used drone images to calculate the overall bare peat reduction since between 2017 and 2019, and this was 41%. In places the brash has been spread too thin, therefore plug plants has been used to plug the gap. They are doing especially well close to stone dams and coir rolls. Warcop is the only site in the North Pennines that is yet to be completed. So far the contractors have cut and spread and airlifted onto site 1,400 bags of brash. The remaining 900 bags will be cut in July and spread in August. Warcop has been a tricky site due to MOD access restrictions, which has meant all of the airlifting has to be completed within one weekend. However, good progress has been made and the restoration work shows promising signs of revegetation. Valance Lodge in Langdon Fell is a site of two halves. The eastern area is degraded blanket bog with very little vegetation cover and what appears to be the start of hagging. The western area is severely eroded, sometimes down to the mineral layer, with gullies up to 3 metres in depth. From the monitoring in 2019, 63% of the quadrats were either recovering or in favourable condition. And using the UAV images, the bare peat has been reduced by 57%. Due to complications of Chapel Fell, this now shows a very good direct comparison between the bare peat being restored and bare peat that hasn't had any interventions. Tynehead Fell unfortunately has the lowest revegetation in the North Pennines, with 27% of the quadrats considered recovering or in favourable condition. Using the UAV images, there has been approximately a reduction of 35% of bare peat. This is mainly due to the lack of heather brash that has been spread on site, with the initial bare peat area being underestimated, but also due to the large fluctuation in water across the site, with some bare peat being recorded by the UAV in July, but is actually standing water for most of the year. Where there is brash spread, the vegetation is growing well and there's a good layer of moss developing. The dams are also doing well, with 89% in good condition, which means they are retaining water and sediment.